The day began like any other in New York City. Busy streets, bustling crowds, the usual cacophony of urban life. But all of that changed in an instant when the sky above Central Park was sliced open by a brilliant streak of light. A spacecraft, unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed, descended gracefully, settling on the lush green grass as if it belonged there. The world held its breath as news channels broadcast live. Cameras trained on the gleaming silver vessel. As the ship's door slid open with a hiss, a figure emerged, casting a silhouette against the bright interior lights. Zygo, as he would soon introduce himself, was not the humanoid figure many had expected. His skin shimmered with a luminescent quality, reflecting the colors of Earth with every move. His eyes, large and expressive, scanned the crowd with a childlike wonder. The first words spoken by Zygo were not through his mouth, but projected telepathically, resonating inside the minds of everyone present. "Greetings, Earth beings. I am Zygo of Xylia. I come in peace and curiosity." The crowd, still reeling from the initial shock, listened as Zygo continued, his voice a melodic hum that seemed to calm even the most anxious onlookers. Zygo stepped forward, his movements graceful and almost floating, as he approached the barricade where police and officials had cordoned off the area. Dr. Elena Martinez, who had been rushed to the scene due to her expertise in xenobiology, stepped forward to meet him. "Welcome to Earth, Zygo," Elena said, extending her hand in a gesture of human greeting. Zygo looked at her hand, then back at her face, a smile spreading across his features. With a gentle touch, he mimicked the handshake, causing a ripple of laughter and applause from the crowd. It was then that Zygo asked a question that would echo around the world, his innocent curiosity broadcasted for every human to hear. "I am intrigued by many things about your world, especially one. I've learned from your broadcasts about human reproduction. It's quite different from ours on Xylia." "Wait, humans reproduce like that? Can I try too?" Elena's face turned a shade of red, matching the sudden flashes of camera lights. The crowd erupted in a mixture of laughter and shock. The media frenzy that followed was unprecedented. News outlets and social media exploded with discussions, debates, and memes about Zygo's question, highlighting the vast differences between human and alien perceptions. Seeing the commotion his question had caused, Zygo tilted his head, puzzled. "Did I say something amiss?" he asked, genuinely confused by the human reaction. Elena, recovering from her initial embarrassment, chuckled softly. "No, Zygo, you didn't. It's just that human reproduction is a very personal and private matter for us. It's not usually discussed so openly, especially not on first meeting." "Ah, I see," Zygo replied, his tone thoughtful. "On Xylia, reproduction is a community event celebrated by all. It's how we connect with the cosmos and each other. I meant no disrespect." "None taken," Elena assured him, her professionalism returning. "There's a lot we can learn from each other, and I think that's a wonderful place to start." As they walked back toward the spacecraft, the crowd parting to let them pass, the atmosphere was charged with a new sense of wonder and possibility. Humanity was on the brink of a new era, one that began with a simple, albeit unusual, question. The path ahead would be fraught with challenges and misunderstandings, but also filled with potential for unprecedented understanding and friendship. The journey of 1,000 miles, as they say, had begun with a single, curious step. As the initial shock of Zygo's question faded, a more structured form of interaction between humans and the Xylian visitor began to take shape. Dr. Elena Martinez, appointed as a liaison for Zygo, found herself at the center of a groundbreaking interstellar relationship. The world's leaders, scientists, and cultural ambassadors eagerly sought to establish a foundation for mutual understanding and cooperation. The first order of business was setting up a series of educational exchanges. Elena organized tours for Zygo, introducing him to various aspects of human life. They visited museums, scientific institutions, and cultural landmarks. Each location provided Zygo with a broader context of human civilization, art and the complexities of social structures. During a visit to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Zygo was particularly fascinated by the expressions of human emotion through art. Your art captures feelings. Is this also how humans share their internal states, like we share colors on Xylia? He asked, his luminous skin subtly shifting in hue as he moved from one exhibit to another. Yes, art is a way to express things that might be hard to communicate in words, Elena explained. It's one of the ways we connect with each other. Their cultural exchange was not just one-sided. Zygo invited Elena and a team of researchers aboard his spacecraft, where they were introduced to Xylian technology and history through holographic archives. The technology was revolutionary, offering insights into energy efficiency, space travel, and medical advancements that could potentially benefit Earth. However, the most profound exchange took place in a series of discussions about social structure and reproduction. Xylians did not form family units as humans did. Instead, they were a deeply communal society where offspring were raised collectively. To us, every child belongs to the whole community, Zygo explained. We nurture them as a group, and our bonding is through shared responsibilities. Elena documented these discussions, aiming to create a comprehensive guide for future interactions. Public interest in these dialogues grew, leading to televised sessions where Zygo answered questions from the audience. His candid, innocent approach to sensitive topics often led to humorous, yet enlightening exchanges. As the days turned into weeks, the cultural exchange deepened. Schools started incorporating lessons about Xylia, and virtual reality experiences allowed people to explore Xylian environments from Earth. Similarly, Zygo learned to appreciate human customs, participating in festivals, and even try his hand at cooking, which led to some amusing results. However, not everyone was thrilled about this newfound friendship. A faction within the military, led by General Hawk, viewed Zygo's presence and the rapid sharing of knowledge as a potential threat. We don't know enough about their kind, Hawk argued in closed-door meetings. This exchange could be a Trojan horse, a way for them to infiltrate and overpower us. Despite these undercurrents of distrust, the broader public sentiment remained overwhelmingly positive. People were fascinated by Zygo, and the benefits of the technologies he shared were undeniable. Clean energy solutions derived from Xylian tech began to make their way into pilot projects, and health advancements were fast-tracked for clinical trials. As Zygo and Elena prepared for the next phase of their project, a symposium where leading scientists from both planets would discuss collaborative ventures, the air was filled with optimism. However, the undercurrents of fear and suspicion continued to swirl, setting the stage for future conflicts that neither Zygo nor Elena could have anticipated. The world was changing. The symposium that Elena and Zygo had prepared for was meant to be a pinnacle of human-Xylian collaboration. Scientists and leaders from both worlds gathered, eager to discuss potential joint ventures in technology, medicine, and environmental conservation. However, the underlying tensions, spurred by factions like those led by General Hawk, were about to come to a head in an unexpected way. During the symposium, Zygo and Elena presented their findings and proposed initiatives for further integration of Xylian technology into human society. Zygo, ever enthusiastic, spoke about the potential for a unified energy grid powered by Xylian crystal technology that could potentially end energy scarcity on Earth. However, the event also drew media attention to Zygo and Elena's close working relationship. A photo of them laughing together over a shared joke in the lab, with Elena touching Zygo's arm in a moment of camaraderie, was captured and published by a major news outlet with the headline, "More than just friends?" The article speculated wildly about the nature of their relationship, suggesting a deeper, personal bond that crossed species boundaries. The story went viral overnight. Social media was abuzz with debates and conspiracy theories about the implications of their relationship. Was Elena too close to the Xylian? Was their relationship appropriate? Such questions fueled a firestorm of controversy, leading to polarized public opinion. General Hawk seized upon this incident as proof of his long-held suspicions. He portrayed the relationship as a breach of professional ethics and a potential security risk, suggesting that Zygo could be manipulating human emotions to gain access to Earth's defenses. "We must protect our planet and our people," Hawk declared in a widely broadcasted speech. "We cannot allow our judgment to be clouded by alien influence, no matter how benign it appears." Elena was summoned to a closed-door hearing with government officials to explain her actions. Under intense scrutiny, she defended her professional conduct and her relationship with Zygo. "Our interaction has always been in the interest of fostering understanding and cooperation between humans and Xiliens. Any personal rapport we share has only helped in bridging our worlds," she argued convincingly. Meanwhile, Zygo, unaware of the growing hostility, was hurt and confused by the accusations. He had come to view Elena as his guide and friend in this strange new world, and the backlash was a painful reminder of the differences that still existed between their species. The situation escalated when General Hawk's supporters staged protests outside the symposium, calling for an end to the human-Xilian exchange and for Zygo to leave Earth. The protests turned chaotic, and in the confusion, a group of radicals attempted to storm the building where Zygo was staying. Alerted to the danger, Elena rushed to warn Zygo. They managed to escape, just as the protesters breached the security perimeter. The pair found themselves on the run, navigating the crowded streets of New York, trying to evade both the protesters and law enforcement who had been swayed by Hawk's rhetoric. Their flight through the city became a desperate bid for safety, showcasing not only the best of human innovation and resilience, but also the depths of fear and prejudice. As they darted through alleys and across busy intersections, the city seemed to pulse with the tension of the chase. In this moment of crisis, the true nature of the human-Xilian relationship was put to the test. Would fear and suspicion dictate the future, or could understanding and trust prevail? The answers to these questions would shape the fate of two worlds, hinging on the actions of a scientist and her alien friend as they sought refuge in the most unexpected of places, the United Nations building, where global leaders were debating the very issue of Earth's interspecies policies. Zygo and Elena's desperate flight through New York culminated in a dramatic dash across the plaza of the United Nations headquarters. The iconic building, usually a symbol of global unity and peace, now became their sanctuary as they sought refuge from the chaos that had erupted outside. Inside, the General Assembly was in session, with representatives from around the world gathered to discuss various global issues, including the recent developments involving the Xilian presence on Earth. The arrival of Elena and Zygo, breathless and clearly in distress, caused an immediate stir among the delegates. The Secretary General, recognizing the urgency of the situation, called for a temporary recess and invited Elena and Zygo to address the Assembly. This was their chance to clarify the situation and appeal directly to the world leaders for support and understanding. Zygo, standing before the Assembly, took a deep breath. His luminescent skin subtly shifted in color, reflecting his anxiety and determination. "Esteemed delegates," he began, his voice resonant and carrying through the hall. "I came to Earth out of a desire for knowledge and friendship. The bonds we have begun to forge are based on mutual respect and shared curiosity," he continued, addressing the concerns directly. "I understand that our differences can be startling, even alarming, but I assure you, the intentions of my people are peaceful. Our desire is to share our knowledge and learn from you in return." Elena then took the podium, her demeanor calm but firm. "What you've seen in the media, the speculation about my relationship with Zygo, has been sensationalized. Our friendship is real, yes, but it's founded on our shared mission of cultural exchange and scientific collaboration. It is not a threat, but a testament to what we can achieve together." As they spoke, outside the building, General Hawk's forces were gathering, preparing to take matters into their own hands. Hawk, convinced of a conspiracy and unwilling to wait for diplomatic resolutions, had ordered his troops to surround the UN to prevent Zygo from leaving. Back inside, the daughter of a prominent diplomat, who had become fond of Zygo during his educational visits, took the floor unexpectedly. She was young, perhaps only 10 years old, but her words carried a poignant sincerity. Zygo taught me about the stars, she said, her voice steady and clear. He showed me that looking up doesn't have to be scary. We don't have to be afraid of what's out there. We can be curious and kind instead. Her speech struck a chord, shifting the mood in the room. Delegates whispered among themselves, re-evaluating their positions. The Secretary General called for a vote on a resolution to protect the Xylian visitor under diplomatic immunity and to condemn the use of force against peaceful extraterrestrial guests. As the votes were cast, the tension inside the chamber was palpable. Finally, the resolution passed with overwhelming support, a clear mandate for peace and cooperation. Just as the results were announced, General Hawk's forces made their move, attempting to breach the security of the UN under the guise of a protective action. However, the presence of international media and the live broadcast of the events inside the assembly had rallied public support for Zygo. Crowds of protesters supporting Zygo and advocating for peace had assembled outside, blocking Hawk's forces and creating a human barrier. Faced with international condemnation and public resistance, Hawk's position was untenable. The military intervention was called off, and Hawk was later arrested for undermining diplomatic relations and inciting violence. The showdown at the United Nations, fraught with risk and conflict, ultimately underscored the potential for understanding and unity in the face of fear and suspicion. Zygo and Elena, their bond now legitimized and supported by global leaders, were at the forefront of a new chapter in human-Xylian relations, marked by a commitment to dialogue and mutual respect. Following the dramatic events at the United Nations, the world saw Zygo not just as a visitor from another world, but as a symbol of peace and the potential for interspecies collaboration. The resolution passed by the UN had given Zygo and his mission a new legitimacy and protection, but it also sparked a broader public debate about the future of Earth's relationship with Xylia and potentially other extraterrestrial civilizations. Elena and Zygo, now recognized as ambassadors of human-Xylian cooperation, embarked on a global tour. They participated in town hall meetings, university lectures, and public debates, discussing not only the scientific and technological benefits of their alliance, but also the philosophical and ethical implications of interspecies relationships. Each event was broadcasted, becoming part of what media dubbed the Battle of Ideas. This was no ordinary conflict. It was a fight for the hearts and minds of Earth's populace, played out across various platforms. Zygo, with his calm demeanor and earnest curiosity, and Elena, with her expertise and passionate advocacy, proved to be powerful spokespeople for their cause. However, opposition remained. Splinter groups, inspired by General Hawk's extreme views, continued to propagate fear and mistrust. They argued that the alliance would lead to the loss of human independence and purity. These groups were particularly active on social media, where they could spread misinformation quickly and widely. In response, Zygo and Elena focused on transparency and education as their main tools. They arranged for demonstrations of Xylian technology, showing how it could clean water and generate energy without pollution, and held Q&A sessions to address public concerns directly. One significant event was a live-stream debate between Elena and a leading opponent of the Xylian Alliance, Dr. Richard Lorne, a prominent xenobiologist who was skeptical of the long-term consequences of sharing human lives so closely with another species. The debate was intense, watched by millions worldwide. Isn't our very identity at risk? Dr. Lorne argued, his voice tense with concern. What happens to humanity when we're so intertwined with alien species? Elena responded thoughtfully. Our identity isn't lost through connection. It's broadened. We're not giving up who we are. We're expanding our understanding of what we can be. Cooperation doesn't mean losing ourselves. It means growing together. Zygo also spoke, sharing his perspective. On Xylia, we believe that all life is interconnected. By learning from you, we don't take away from your identity. We celebrate it and add to our collective knowledge. As the debate concluded, Public opinion polls showed a shift in perception. More people began to see the benefits of the alliance, influenced by the reasoned and compassionate arguments presented by Zygo and Elena. The culmination of their tour was a massive conference held in Geneva, attended by leaders, scientists, and citizens from around the world. Here, the groundwork was laid for the first joint Earthzillion research initiative, focusing on sustainable agriculture and energy solutions. Meanwhile, the cultural exchange continued to deepen. Zillion art and music were introduced to Earth, with concerts and exhibitions showcasing their alien aesthetics, which were both strange and captivating to human senses. Similarly, human culture was transmitted to Xylia via satellite broadcasts, giving Zillions a taste of Earth's diversity. The battle of ideas gradually transformed from a conflict into a dialogue, a global conversation on how Earth could navigate its place in a larger universe of intelligent life. While challenges remained, the path forward was now marked by a commitment to understanding and respect, heralding a new era of human-alien interaction. The Geneva Conference marked a pivotal moment in human-Zillion relations. The agreements made there, along with the establishment of the first joint research initiatives, were the fruits of a season of intense debate and dialogue, the so-called Battle of Ideas. As these projects began to bear fruit, they ushered in a new era of cooperation that promised to reshape the future of Earth and its place in the cosmos. Zygo was granted honorary Earth citizenship in a ceremony that was broadcast globally, symbolizing not only his personal journey, but also the potential for peaceful and productive relations between different worlds. Alongside this symbolic gesture, Zygo and Elena inaugurated the Interspecies Cultural Exchange Center located in New York, where their journey had begun. This center was designed to be a hub of learning and cooperation, offering programs that range from language courses and cultural seminars to scientific workshops and technological demonstrations. The center quickly became a vibrant community of both humans and Zillions, as well as representatives from other species interested in the Earth-Zillion alliance. Each species brought unique perspectives and technologies that enriched the shared pool of knowledge. The center was a microcosm of the broader universe, a place where differences were celebrated and common goals pursued. For Elena, the establishment of the center was a dream realized. She served as its first director, working tirelessly to ensure that the lessons learned from her experiences with Zygo were passed on to future generations. She frequently reflected on the initial fear and suspicion that had greeted Zygo's arrival and how much had changed since then. "We were afraid of the unknown," she would say in her speeches. "But through understanding and openness, we turned fear into friendship and suspicion into partnership." Meanwhile, Zygo became something of a cultural ambassador, not only for Zillions but for the concept of interspecies cooperation. His genuine curiosity and willingness to engage with humans had broken down many barriers, and now he worked to ensure that other extraterrestrial visitors would receive a warm welcome. The cultural exchange that began with simple curiosity about human reproduction had grown into a profound exchange of ideas and traditions. Earth's music, art, and literature found new audiences among the stars, while alien art forms captivated human audiences. This cultural melding influenced new generations of artists, writers, and thinkers on both Earth and Xylia, leading to a renaissance of creativity and innovation. However, the journey was not without its challenges. There were setbacks and disagreements, as there are in any relationship. New issues emerged, requiring negotiation and compromise. Yet, the foundation of trust and mutual respect that Zygo and Elena had helped to build proved strong enough to overcome these challenges. As years turned into decades, the partnership between Earth and Xylia became a model for other interspecies relations. New alliances were formed, each contributing to a growing network of cooperative worlds. This network not only ensured peace, but also facilitated the sharing of resources and knowledge, helping to solve some of the most pressing issues facing each planet, from ecological restoration projects on Earth to technological upgrades on Xylia. In the twilight of her career, Elena looked out from the viewing deck of the Interspecies Cultural Exchange Center, now a bustling nexus of activity. with a skyline that blended earthly and alien architectures. She watched the young, humans and aliens alike, mingle, laugh, and learn from each other. Each interaction was a testament to the enduring power of curiosity and the universal desire for connection. This, she whispered to Zygo, who had joined her at the railing, is the future we dreamed of. Yes, Zygo agreed, his skin shimmering with the colors of a Zillion sunset. A future not defined by fear, but by our shared curiosity and hope. Together, they turned back to the crowd, ready to mentor the next generation of leaders and explorers, guiding them into a future where the sky was not a limit but a beginning. The story of Zygo and Elena, a tale of first contact that turned fear into friendship, would be told for generations as a beacon of what could be achieved when different worlds meet. Not in conflict, but in cooperation.